On the wings of love, only the two of us, together flying high. Like Superman. Superman doesn't have wings. Why do you write this stuff down? I mean, you know, like, we're on TV here. Welcome back once again. It is time for the Comics Coffee Table. Let's take a break together. It's Tank Top Tuesday. Huzzah! Show off the pipes. They're more like pipe cleaners. Leave me alone. I'm not a gym person. Seriously, I get into so many Twitter fights. Well, only a few. So many. With gym people. It's just sometimes they come off as being very arrogant. Maybe it's all the fucking testosterone and like fucking that shit. I don't know. Ooh, that's a good cuppa. Thank you so very much. Here at our very own Comics Coffee Table, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily, we take a break together. We leave the real world problems over there for just a few minutes in our busy day. Excuse me. We pull up a chair, we grab a cuppa, and we sit down here at our Comics Coffee Table. Thank you very much. We are a geeky chill stream. That's right. We mean to recreate the spirit of the comic book shop-style conversation here daily on YouTube's. On the YouTubes. Here, the coffee table was always where my friends and I would congregate. There would be a stack of movies, a stack of books, a stack of music, a stack of games, a stack of comic books as well. So we were always trying to turn each other on to something new or something we haven't gotten to yet. And it was great. Friends are nice. They are. They really are. And thank you very much, friends, for coming today. We are as I said, a geeky chill stream. We are comic book fans. And this year we are rebagging, reboarding, and reboxing my entire comic book collection. So it's given me a reason to go to when I go to my local comic book shop on new release day Wednesday, I have the opportunity to give further patronage to that establishment, that mom and pop shop, the brick and mortar shop of my LCS, the local comic shop. That's a good cuppa. Keeps interrupting me. I'm getting my supplies at my local comic book shop. I'm getting boxes, and they're Transformers. They transform into these. Getting bags. And I'm getting backing boards as well. Acid-free, one-side coated. It says archival. Yeah, sure. And we use these supplies, and I'm transferring my long boxes. Here we go again. These long boxes. These heavy-ass long boxes. And look at those stains. You know what I mean? This is literally protected my comic books that are inside here. And that's their job. And they have done their job. And they need new boxes. They need new supplies. And chances are, so do you, too. So I'm getting them from the local comic book shop. I am making the conscious choice not to use chain stores, not to use big box stores, not to use my online supply chain. Thank you. And to make sure boogers weren't like dangling off of my mustache again. Pika. Yeah, I wonder if I can say booger on YouTube. I'll get fired like Dr. Johnny Fever did, you know. That's an ancient joke. Here we go. Yeah. So, what are we doing? I am making a new box. Every time I make a new box, I will demonstrate it on the show to you know, show you how to do it, I guess. This box is a BCW. That means baseball card world, I guess. And gives us 6 sequential illustrations, quite like a comic in a way, without borders and gutters and panels, but all the same. We have a sequence of 6 images. Oh wow! If so, you know, as I'm off to say that a native anime fan would read this in reverse, and maybe would they mess it up? Oh no! Think of the children. Always check your box to make sure it has a lid inside of it when you buy it. This cost $7.99 at my LCS. Yeah, and we're just going to assemble a comic book box. You see that? We're just gonna open her up. Ba 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 ba. Oh, I feel like my cat. I'm allergic to cats. And if remember that they're pre-cut, but also there's a little bit of a connection too. So the last thing you want to do is use a sharp edge knife or an X-Acto blade. You just want to use a little muscle power. There you go. See? You hear? There you go. Now it's free and useful. Same over here. See? Just a little bit of pressure. Okay. See that? Now we're cooking with gas. All right. We're gonna fold this in first. This big flap. Fold that first. And like that. We're going to do this next. That's going to be the bottom of our box. Now look inside. How does Vanna White do it? Pull this. Pull that up. You want to pull these to the sides with the hand holds match up. See that? And then put the flap down. And there you go. You have one fully functional short comic book box. Same process for the long boxes. You can also ask the staff at your local comic book shop to throw it together for you real quick too. They should be able to do it. This is your lid. You just fold it in. You fold it again. Fold down. The little tabs. Secure. Do it again over here. See? Get this. Fold that first. Fold that over. Fold this again. Let the tab secure. And there we go. We now have another box. I'm feeling boxed in. You and your pun, Sully. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair so I can climb up and get into your underwear. Ooh. Well, that's a Beastie Boys line. It's also a line that doesn't work. I've tried it. What am I doing today? All right, what are we doing today? We are making a specialized box full of Mark Millar comic books. Coming out this week is Big Game #1, which is a direct sequel to Mark Millar's first Millar World. You know, let's read a wiki. Why don't we? Aha. I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. And Millar World. It's Mark Millar. Who is Mark Millar? Millar World. Wow. It's got a wiki page. All right. Millar World Limited. Sometimes called Millar World because Mr. Millar spells his name M-I-M-I-L-L-A-R. You got to learn your ASL again, kid. You don't want to be pissing off, the community. Millar World Limited is a comic book company that was founded in 2004 by Scottish comic book writer Mark Millar. As a creator-owned line, the imprint is best known for publishing the books Wanted, Chosen. Oh, the Unfunnies. I remember those. Those weren't very... I wonder if the Unfunnies will show up. The Unfunnies were like cruel, over-the-top, cartoony, sick sense of humor. It was an adult comedy horror comic book. And that came out on Avatar Press. And it used simple comic book characters drawn in a Hanna-Barbera style and photographs to tell a story of a comic book world gone wrong. Oh, I wonder... That would be great if he can put the Unfunnies in here somewhere. The imprint is best known for publishing Wanted, Chosen, Unfunnies, Kick-Ass, War Heroes, Nemesis, Jupiter's Legacy, and The Magic Order. Wanted was published by Top Cow and adapted into a feature film of the same name in June of 2008. And Chosen was published by Dark Horse Comics. It was described as a sequel to the Bible, and it was optioned by Sony. But over time, Millar sold Millar World to Netflix for a very lucrative comic book adaptation contract. Mark Millar is the gold standard of what comic book creators are motivated for today, to get that big contract, which is all well and good. Comics have a terrible, terrible history of screwing over their creators with and the creators' legacies. I mean, well, they're to their descendants as well. Let's see. Unfunnies was anthropomorphic animal horror on Avatar. Kick-Ass was illustrated by Johnny Romita Jr. and published by Marvel on the Icon Press. That was adapted into 2 films. Yeah, by Matthew Vaughn. War Heroes. I didn't read War Heroes. War Heroes was interesting. It was about it was like a modern war comic book. It was on Image, and it was like The Authority meets kind of like Real World. Like if you had soldiers who were armed with superpowers. Yeah. And that's been a kind of, that's... He says that if... this is what his Ultimates 3 would have been if Brian and Hitch and Mark Millar had stuck around to do it. That went to Jeff Loeb and Joey Mads. Joe Mads, is that right? Ultimates 3? Got like 1 issue of that. Yeah, that was Joe Mads. Joe Madureira. And completely went in a new direction with Ultimates. I didn't stick around for that part of Ultimates. Let's see, back to Miller World. And I'm making my own Miller World. Miller has stated whenever he sells the film adaptation rights to one of his creator-owned properties, he gives half of the money to the artist who illustrated the comics, despite his agent's reaction to this, saying, everything, all the money from the advance, the toys, the games, 50-50, so it's fair. I see it as a collaboration. If I drew, I could keep everything for myself, but I actually like the idea of having a talent that I'm not selling. One of my friends said, you can make even more money by drawing too. And I said, yeah, and I suppose I can make even more money by lap dancing. It's nice to have something that's just for me. In October of 2014, see, that's the axial time where everything changes in comic books. It was the Me Too movement. It was the which questions the handling of female characters, their agency, and their role in all fictions, good and bad. I mean, there was the 2016 American election, presidential election. And on August 14th, following months of delay for Jupiter's Legacy #5, which I remember, Miller stated that beginning in April of 2015, all Miller World series would be completely drawn before the publication of their debut issues in order to maintain a monthly schedule. But then, on August 7th, 2017, Miller World was acquired by Netflix. And so Miller basically works for Netflix now. And he's in charge of everything Miller World. But they have like first dibs on everything, like to adapt things. He then did basically a version 2 of Miller World post Netflix. He did Empress, Hawk, Sharky the Bounty Hunter, which I didn't pick up on, and so Jupiter's Legacy, that was adapted into a Netflix show. American Jesus, which is Chosen, that's being adapted into a Netflix series as well. And I guess Jupiter's Legacy was just so expensive to produce that it only got one season. And there was Super Crooks, which was it was a bad guy title in 2012. I wonder if they're going to be in big game as well, since it's all about super heroes versus super enemies. In late 2022, several updates on Miller World production were given that Huck would be redeveloped as a TV series, and that a live-action Super Crooks series would follow Jupiter's Legacy that was canceled after its first season, and that Miller would be launching 4 brand new comic series: Nightclub, Nemesis Reloaded, The Magic Order 4, and The Ambassadors. And they would lead into a crossover event entitled Big Game, which would be illustrated by Pepe Larraz and serve as a crossover between every Miller World property. It was revealed in May, this past May, that Big Game is actually a direct sequel to Wanted, Miller's first creator-owned work, and follows Wesley Gibson and the fraternity of supervillains teaming up with Nemesis to take down the latest wave of superheroes that have popped back up in the world following the actions of Dave Lewisiski, Kick-Ass. Mm-hmm. And it was, so the bibliography goes as follows. We got some. We don't have all. There's Chosen. This is 2004. There was Chosen, which is American Jesus. Unfunnies, Wanted. Then 2008, you have Kick-Ass to 2010. That was on Icon Comics. That was 8 issues. Now in 2008, oh wow, that's it. Yeah. War Heroes had 6 issues and 3 of them were unpublished. Indeed, there's a story there. In 2010, he did the original Nemesis with Steve McNiven, and he did Superior with Lionel Francis Yu. Superior is one of these characters that it's about, like, you know, the kid who has the magic word. And it's Simon Pooney, an angry, bitter 12-year-old boy with multiple sclerosis, idolizes superheroes, particularly Superior, and a Superman analog. An alien monkey named Ormond appears at Simon's bedside, informing all the people of Earth he has been granted the honor of being bestowed a single magic wish. Simon is then transformed into Superior. One magic wish. After playing the role of Superior for a week, he learns that Ormond is actually a demon incarnate, and he must sell his soul to the devil in order to remain as Superior. He's given 24 hours to decide and is returned to his old body. And I'll leave it there so we don't ruin the story. But what we're doing... we're taking all of my Miller World and we're putting it into one box. Let's do it. We're going into the image box. Oh, gosh. Got Chrononauts #1 around here somewhere. Funnybooks. You know, if I turn my back, they're all going to fall on the floor. I didn't buy Kick-Ass initially. I caught up on it when Kick-Ass 3 came out. I don't have Wanted. I had Wanted back in 2004, 2005. It was pretty good. To be sure, I absolutely hate the last panel, the last page. I think it ends really, really bad, really flatly. Reborn. Start right. That's that. Ooh. Ah! Today on Don't Crush Your Funny Book, Sully. Oh, here we go. And now, the new releases. And after Kick-Ass 3, there was another new Kick-Ass, which made Kick-Ass a legacy character, and they gave Kick-Ass to a new person. It just, for me, kind of, lost interest. Some of these you still have to bag and board, Sully. I know. I know. Oh, boy. No wonder why people hate me. I know. I used to say that all the time. All right, here we are. We have all of the Mark Millar. Oh, wow, I have a Miller World. I have a Miller World. Here we go. Let's get to it. One empty box. Let's start filling it up. See? That almost fell over. Because when you put a stack of funny books on something that are in wraps, snugs, well, they'll all just ton of teeter-totter. See? The ambassadors. Yeah. How to file this? Maybe chronologically, huh? Let's see. Nemesis. Reloaded. We got Fight Club. Nightclub. Not Fight Club. There's the last. I need to... Did you hear that? Those were comic books hitting the floor. Let the funnies hit the floor. Let the funnies hit the floor. Let the funnies hit the floor. We got Starlight, Reborn. We're gonna go through all of these. We're gonna board them. We're gonna bag them. I'm looking forward to see what becomes of MPH. I do have a Kingsman book. I thought I didn't have any Kingsman. Okay. The Kingsman became a movie too. We get like, what, 3 movies out of this? That movie money's serious, man. I liked Kick-Ass, but it's like, I think that the movie was horrible. Well, Kick-Ass 1 was great. Kick-Ass 2 was just, yeah. All the Jupiters. Legacy 2 and Circle. And Huck, Chrononauts, Empress, and here we are. All right, so that's that's the Miller world so far. All righty, and let's fulfill the promise of the show. Let's bag and board a comic book. Nemesis 5. That was 5 issues. Jupiter's Legacy is 10 issues long with art by Frank Whiteley. Yeah. He just gets he gets the best talent. He gets the best artists to do his bidding. He's also a remarkably nice guy, very accessible on online media, on Twitter if you're not a dick. And has a great show called Miller Time, and where he interviews. This week he's interviewing Pepe Larraz. Like Nemesis #1, Reloaded, is available online for free. Also, the trade paperback just came out as well. It's over the top. Really, I thought it was all set with hyperviolence. Apparently, I guess it's about who does it. This Jorge Jimenez art was just amazing. Amazing! We've bagged, we've boarded, see? We've done the shit. That's the show. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yep, that's all of them. I didn't get Nemesis 1. I just wasn't into it then. Still looking for Nightclub 3 and 6. Nightclub 6 hasn't come out yet. But when it does, we'll be there. Because we'll need them. I hate, the end of the first Avengers movie, I just thought that ended so flatly. That wasn't denouement. There we go. See, bag. board, 1 piece of tape. I'll be picking up. Will I be getting a... Will I be getting a variant cover of Big Game? Don't know. Depends on what's on the shelf or where I'm willing to go. Like one comic book shop I got is notorious for not having too much, but they have, you know, they have more humble needs. While the other one I go to usually has all the variant covers. Or at least a bunch of them, you know. Cool. All right, that's our... Here is... Maybe I should get a copy of Wanted. I liked Wanted. Because, oh, God, Wanted had J.G. Jones on art. That was amazing. Wanted was pretty good. It's about, like, the seduction of an innocent. Or is he really? Was he genetically predisposed to being evil or a bad guy? This kid finds out that he's the son of the world's greatest supervillain hitman. And that upon the hitman's death, the kid inherited his superpowers. Like his meta gene was activated. And now he's brought into the fraternity. And hijinks ensue. You might have seen the movie with Morgan Freeman, Charlie McAvoy. Is it Charlie McAvoy? And Morgan Freeman. Wesley Gibson is a loser cubicle rat who is abused by almost everyone in his life, including his boss, a local game, his unfaithful girlfriend, and his best friend whom his girlfriend is having an affair. And then when he gets his superpowers and given permission to be the next, he's the killer. That's the guy's name. Very simple. And so Wesley, by the end of it, becomes the new leader of the fraternity. And he's, it's over the top, hyper violent. As I said, there's a last page, and it just doesn't land very well. But, it's James McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy is a Boston Bruin hockey player. James McAvoy, who's also played Professor X, the younger Professor X in the X-Men movies. But yeah, so thank you. Turkey's done. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So thank you for tuning in on Tank Top Tuesday. Indeed. And we're going to be doing a lot of Mark Millar books for the next week or so. So strap yourselves in for a bumpy ride. It's going to get crossovery. The big crossover event of this summer. Big Game by Mark Millar and Pepe Larraz. All of these books. 20 years of buildup. An unexpected summer crossover event. Well, it's not really a crossover event. It's an event. And it's going to be, I don't know if there are going to be any new issues to tie into it as a crossover. There's going to be a solid core title called Big Game. Whether or not there'll be one-shots and tie-ins, well, that's up for the editor-in-chief to try to spring on us. Thank you so much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.